The sun hung high in the sky, beating down on the dusty paths of our small African village. The air was thick with the smell of dry earth and wood smoke. I was just a kid, but I could tell something was off that day. It all started when Aka and Juli returned from the market. AK was a handsome young man, and Juli, his cousin, was a stunning woman with creamy skin and sparkling eyes. They laughed as they walked back, their arms full of goods. But the moment they entered Aka's house, the whispers began. "Did you see how they looked at each other?" Old Mama Kemba hissed. "It's not right. They're cousins." "Hush, Mama Kemba," another woman replied, though her eyes were wide with curiosity. "They're just cousins. It's not like they're doing anything wrong." I didn't understand what they were talking about, but I felt the tension in the air. A few days later, I saw them by the river, hidden behind tall grass. They were laughing, and then Aka pulled Juli close. I watched as their lips met, and I felt both excitement and fear. I knew it was wrong, but it was also beautiful. As the whispers grew louder, the village elders, led by Chief Mwangi, held a serious meeting. They spoke in hushed tones, their faces grave. "These two are playing with fire," Chief Mwangi said. "We must stop this before it destroys the village." "But Chief," one elder protested, "they're just young and in love. Isn't that natural?" "Natural or not, it's taboo. We must put an end to it," Chief Mwangi replied. The village split into two sides. Some supported the lovers, while others sided with the elders. The tension continued to rise. One day, Juli approached me, tears in her eyes. "They found out," she whispered. "They know about us." I didn't know what to say, but I hugged her tightly as she cried. "What will you do?" I asked. "I don't know," she replied, "but I can't lose Aka." The next day, the village held a meeting. AKA and Juli stood before the elders, heads bowed. Chief Mwangi's expression was stern. "Juli, you are to marry Kembo," he said. "Aka, you will marry Njeri." Their eyes were filled with fear and despair, knowing they couldn't fight the decision. "Please, Chief Mwangi," Juli begged, "don't do this." Chief Mwangi softened for a moment, but quickly returned to his firm demeanor. "This is for the good of the village. You must obey." The weddings took place, but they were not joyous occasions. The village felt heavy with sadness and anger. The whispers didn't cease. If anything, they grew louder. Everyone knew something was brewing. One night I found Aka and Juli again, hidden by the river. They kissed, their bodies close under the moonlight. I felt a strange mix of guilt and admiration watching them. The next day, the village elders grew furious, holding another meeting filled with raised voices. "Juli, you must leave the village," Chief Mwangi ordered. "You will go to your uncle's village until the child is born." Juli's shock was evident. "Child?" she whispered. "Yes, child." "You are pregnant and everyone knows it," he replied. The village erupted in chaos. The elders were determined to separate Aka and Juli, but the lovers were equally resolved to fight for their love, no matter the cost. As weeks passed, Juli was sent away, hidden from the village. AKA became a shadow of himself, his laughter replaced with a constant frown. He snuck out at night to meet Juli by the river, where only the moon witnessed their secret meetings. One night I followed Aka, my heart racing. I knew I shouldn't be spying, but the thrill of their forbidden love drew me in. When he met Juli, they embraced deeply, their kisses filled with longing. "Juli, I can't live without you," Aka whispered. "I can't bear the thought of you being with someone else." "I feel the same, but we must be careful," Juli replied, her eyes filled with both fear and love. AKA's face hardened. "I won't let them take you away from me." They made love, their bodies moving together, a strong testament to their bond. But the next day, the elders grew even angrier. They knew of the secret meetings and were determined to end it. "Enough is enough," Chief Mwangi said. "We must stop Aka and Juli." One evening, as Aka and Juli met by the river, Chief Mwangi and the elders appeared from the shadows. The chief's voice was thunderous. "You have brought shame to our village. Your actions must stop." Aka stood protectively in front of Juli. "We love each other. We're not doing anything wrong." "Love or not, it is against our traditions. You know the consequences," Chief Mwangi warned. Juli stepped forward, trembling but resolute. "We can't live without each other. We'll find a way, even if it means leaving." The elders murmured disapproval, Chief Mwangi raised his hand for silence. You have two choices: leave the village and never return, or face the consequences. Ake's jaw clenched as he looked at Juli. We'll leave, he said, his voice strong. But we'll find a way to be together. The chief nodded. You have until sunrise to gather your things and leave. If you are still here then, the elders will take action. As the chief and elders left, Ake and Juli stood by the river, their hearts pounding. They had a long, dangerous journey ahead, but they were ready to face it together. Hand in hand, they walked back to their huts, determined to fight for their love against all odds.